Does your child have a 504 plan or need one? Then you've come to the right place. If they have a perceived or an actual disability, then a 504 plan is a wonderful support to remediate their unique learning needs. But what if your school says no? What if they deny you or don't approve the accommodations or supports that your child needs? Take a deep breath. I'm going to show you exactly what to do. That's why inside this video, I'm going to show you what to do if your school says no, and 5 things to get your child's education plan adjusted so you can advocate like a pro. Hey, what's up? I'm April Rarig, your special education advocate to make IEPs and 504 plans so much easier. If you're new here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button to get more videos like this in your inbox, and follow us on Instagram at RiseEdAdvocacy. Here's what you need to know. Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act is enacted by U.S. Congress. That means it's a civil rights statute. So what is a 504 plan? They define how schools support your child and remove barriers with what's called equal access. Here's the problem. Schools don't get regular training when it comes to how to write a 504 plan, and more importantly, how to follow the provisions under Section 504. This makes it really hard, especially if you are trying to get started with the 504 process. Make sure to check out my video, How to Get a 504, with 3 easy tips so that if you are starting the process, you can get started and get your child the 504 plan that they deserve. Make sure to grab that link in the description box below. So now you know what is a 504 plan. Let's get to why you're watching this video. So your school said no to a 504, or they denied you when you wanted to change your child's 504 plan. What do you do first? Step 1, make sure to get it in writing. Here's the deal. Schools must provide you with notice when it comes to the evaluation and placement decisions for your child under Section 504. What does this mean? This means that you have the right to be informed of your safeguards and access your child's records. So let me ask you something. When you had your last 504, or if your child has not had a 504 yet, have you been able to view your child's records? Has the school given you that information? It all comes down to knowing what to ask for and how to get it when it comes to communicating with your school. That's why I want you to check out my first free guide that gives you 10 keys for effective school communication. So when you're chatting with the school and when you're sending those emails, you advocate like a pro with all the right words. Make sure to grab that link in the description box below. So now you've got that notice or that documentation of the denial for the 504 plan for your child. What do you do next? This brings us to step 2, documenting the need. Here's the deal. If you want to get a 504 plan for your child, or if you want to modify it or make it better, then you need to document the need and justify the request through evidence. What am I talking about? I'm talking about that as the parent, you know your child best, you've been on the team the longest, and you have a wealth of information. So what evidence do you need to provide to show this to your school? Here's the deal. Pro tip. Go ahead and get copies if your child has a medical diagnosis. If your child's been using an outside provider, give a copy of the progress report to that. If your child's been missing school, provide that information. If the teacher's been sending emails home, or they've been getting suspended or missing instruction, yep, that there too. Also something called a parent report. This is where you write up your information and your observations because like I said earlier, you know your child best and you have the wealth of information and you can justify the need through your documentation and your justifying the evidence. So now you've got the notice, you've justified the need. This brings us to step 3. Request a 504 reevaluation. Here's the deal. Unlike IEPs, 504 plans are not required to do a reevaluation report. However, every district must have policies in place for how 504 plans are reviewed. So you can grab that and find out all these tips and information on your district or on your state or local planning area website. So let me ask you something. Do you have a 504 meeting coming up for your child? What do you bring? How do you prepare? Make sure to check out my video, which gives you 5 tips so that you can walk in the door fully prepped for your child's next 504 meeting and not stress and not get those denials like you're so tired of getting. Make sure to grab those links in the description box below to check it out. So what if your child already has a 504 plan and you want that reevaluation I was talking about? Now that you know it's your right to request for a reevaluation, how do you do it? Make sure to grab my fillable template about reevaluations that walks you through the process so you know what to write in your letter, how to ask the 504 in all the right areas, meaning you want the 504 plan adjusted in the accommodations and supports and services that meet your child's unique learning needs. I walk you through how to do it, give you the steps and show you what to write so your school has to say yes. It makes your job easier and gets the 504 process started for reevaluations. Make sure to grab the link in the description box below. So now you know the first 3 steps. Let's dig in further. Step 4, know your rights. Just like IEPs, Section 504 means your school must employ safeguards when it comes to the identification, evaluation, and educational placement of your child. This is commonly referred to as something called child find, which is a provision under IDA law, but it's also very similar to Section 504. So here's the problem. As parents, we don't get stuff with the safeguards. We don't get the playbook. And that's exactly why I created something called the Ultimate 504 Guide. Inside the guide, it's a digital guide that walks you through the entire process from the start to how to get a 504 started, how to get the best 504, how to make adjustments, how to request the right type of accommodations, how to carry it through to college. I walk you through all the parts so you understand your rights, provisions, and you can walk into your next 504 meeting like a pro. It makes your job easier and ultimately it gets your child the education plan that they deserve. Make sure to grab that link in the description box below. This brings us to the last thing I want you to think about. Step 5, consider IEP testing. If your school denied the 504 plan or is denying adjusting the 504 plan, then think about this. Your child might qualify for an IEP where they can get specially designed instruction, IEP goals, supports, and services. Oh my goodness. The provisions and protections are even more specific and cover more if your child is struggling to access the curriculum. But the only way you're going to find out if your child qualifies or if they need an IEP is to do the assessment. So let me ask you something. Has your school spelled out the difference between an IEP and a 504 plan? Have they talked to you about the differences in eligibility and the specific guidelines? Make sure to check out my free eligibility guide that puts the IEP and the 504 side by side when it comes to qualification so that you understand your choices and you understand the options before you even ask. Speaking of IEP and 504 plan, there's so many things that both education plans share and areas they're different. Has your school explained the difference? Have they walked you through the process? Make sure to check out my video that spells out 10 differences and similarities that you might be surprised about between IEPs and 504 plans so you can advocate like a pro. Grab both the links in the description box below. So now you know what to do if your school says no, and you've got 5 things in your pocket that you can do to help your child get a 504 plan or help to get it adjusted in all the ways that they deserve. So let me ask you something. Do you have a question about 504s? Are you concerned? Are you worried about something? Put your comments and questions below. Do you want me to do another video or expand on more what I've already talked about? Yep, put it there too. Like and subscribe to get more videos like this in your inbox, and follow us on Instagram at RiseEdAdvocacy. Grab all those links below so that you can advocate like a pro and get the support and services your child deserves. I'm April Rarig, your special education advocate. I can't wait to see you for our next video.